too.
You kill one of his crew members.
You come after my brothers, I come after yours.
We've got a crew out there targeting cops.
It's personal.
Just tell me where.
You deserve everything that's coming.
Here we go.
Silas, what puts you so on edge about this building?
It's the man who runs it.
Why are you here, Gavin?
Later, Jimmy Fallon welcomes Millie Bobby Brown. NBC Tonight.
A governor's job is to make your life better. But would anything on Tim Michael's agenda actually help you? His rhetoric is violent.
People should just be ready to get out in the streets with pitchforks and torches.
At his company, women say they were pressured to have sex with their bosses. And he said he'd consider abolishing the Department of Public Instruction. It's a radical's dream, but it wouldn't do a single thing for you. Tony Evers' plan is pretty simple. Create good-paying jobs and bring costs down. That's the right plan for Wisconsin.
We didn't forget about the crumbs at the bottom of the bag. We're just prolonging our time with every last bit of crispy, juicy tender.
Enjoy the crispy chicken sandwich and pair it with medium fries and a $1 any size Diet Dr. Pepper.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
On our broadcast tonight, some precious metals near a precious park. We'll learn about a potential mine in central Wisconsin. Plus, the Wisconsin Natural Resources Board is conserving the largest amount of land in state history. We'll tell you about the Pelican River Forest. And fire tower lookouts used to be prevalent throughout the Northwoods. In tonight's Connecting the Dots, we'll take you through the history of those structures as your local news starts right now.
News Watch 12 with Jessica Jukic and Jeff Weller.
Good evening and welcome to News Watch 12 at 10. I'm Jessica Jukic. A drilling company is seeking approval to begin an exploratory drilling operation in Marathon County. Greenlight, Wisconsin hopes to find precious metals like gold on the site east of Wausau. News Watch 12's Kyle Pozorski.
A mining project.
Ben Callen, a DNR program manager, says what Greenlight plans to do is being closely looked over by the state agency.
This activity is exactly what it's called, exploration. So they evaluate those materials to determine the quality, quantity, and location of what they're looking for.
The site where Greenlight plans to explore is close by to the beloved Dells of Eau Claire County Park.
It is an opportunity for them to refine information that they have so that they can determine whether or not they want to move forward.
We're not a company that would be mining.
Greenlight President and CEO Dan Colton believes the site could contain more than 400,000 tons of gold reserves, but the exploration project would be to only gain more knowledge on the site.
The only way we would be mining is if we were to enter into a joint venture with another company, or we were to acquire another big mining company.
Even still, residents say the location should be left alone because while environmental issues might not happen at first, there's always a possibility for something to go wrong. Reporting in Marathon County, Kyle Pozorski, Newswatch 12.
The DNR has until tomorrow to respond to Greenlight's proposal with anything they hope to change or deny, or they can deny the proposal altogether. For more information about this developing story, head to our website, wjfw.com. It's a chilly night throughout the Northwoods. Jeff, what can we expect tomorrow?
Not as chilly as last night, though. Low temperatures down near 20 or so. Tonight, low temperatures in the 30s, followed by 50s and 60s back in the forecast tomorrow. Okay, highs today, basically low to mid 50s. That's above average. The average high being about 50 this time of year. We will do this again tomorrow and probably for Saturday and for Sunday and for Monday and Tuesday as a long warm stretch is on the way. So more 50s are on the way and also some 60s over the weekend. Right now, though, we're at 45 in Rhinelander, 45 also over Vida and Manchwish Waters, so it's comfortable out there. We have lots of cloud cover across the area, thus, like a blanket in the atmosphere, keeps temperatures up, and the clouds are out there now. I know this looks a lot worse than it really is. The radar is seeing precipitation in the clouds right now, about 8,000 feet up. It's falling out of the cloud, but not reaching it down here because this air is so dry, nor will it tonight. We'll stay dry tonight and tomorrow with that cloud cover across the area. The bulk of the rain is still down here in the parts of Kansas. That will miss us. Our forecast then tonight, though, is mostly cloudy skies, not as cold, with low temperatures down near 35. Your full forecast coming up. Jessica.
Thank you, Jeff. We're learning new information about a deadly crash involving Wisconsin State Senate's minority leader. Today, authorities released documents showing 27-year-old Alyssa Ortman was driving 100 miles an hour seconds before the crash. Ortman and her 5-year-old daughter, Khaleesi Fink, were killed in that crash. State troopers also found a vape pen in Ortman's car that contained Delta-8, which is a compound similar to marijuana, but the results of a drug screening are still pending. 70-year-old Democratic Senator Janet Bewley had pulled out on the highway in the path of Ortman's vehicle when they collided in July. Ortman's car spun across the median of the highway into the path of another vehicle. Police previously reported Bewley was distracted by a hands-free phone during the crash. The Ashland County District Attorney has not made a decision on whether to file charges. With less than 2 weeks till midterm elections, both of Wisconsin's gubernatorial candidates are bringing in outside help for their campaigns. Candidate Tim Michels was joined by Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin and both stops in Green Bay and Waukesha. Michels and Youngkin share some similarities. Both were businessmen before running for governor, and just like Youngkin, Michels is trying to flip a Democratic governorship for Republicans. Youngkin also says that Michels is being overlooked, and voters will make that clear in November.
You see, last year, they said that a Republican couldn't win in a blue state of Virginia. Last year, they said that the media was too strong. They said the suburbs were too blue. They forgot to do one thing, ask the voters. That's what they forgot to do. A state that Joe Biden had won by 10 points, we won by 2. That means he's going to win by 12. That's what that means.
Youngkin has campaigned with GOP candidates for governor in a host of states, including Michigan, Georgia, New Mexico, and Arizona. Meanwhile, Governor Tony Evers is also enlisting outside help by campaigning with Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. Senator Warren joined Democrats on the University of Wisconsin-Madison campus yesterday to encourage voters to cast their ballots for the upcoming election. During her speech to the crowd, she placed her focus on the economy and how Democratic candidates are committed to strengthening the middle class.
This election, the economy is on the ballot. Republicans want this economy to work better for millionaires and billionaires. But Mandela and Tony and Josh and all the Democrats are committed to making this economy work for everyone.
Both candidates have received endorsements of former presidents. Michels being endorsed by former President Trump during his primary race, and Tony Evers will have former President Obama's headline a rally on October 29th in Milwaukee. Some Lac du Flambeau residents will be in the dark for 7 hours tonight. WPS announced they'll be having a planned power outage starting at 11:30 p.m. tonight to 6:30 a.m. tomorrow in downtown Lac du Flambeau. It will likely impact 73 households in the area. Public Service will be contacting residents to inform them of their plans. During the outage, WPS will be performing maintenance and repairs around the city, as well as replacing some of the older electrical poles. Tribal police will be providing additional patrols of the area to respond to any community needs during this time. The Wisconsin Natural Resources Board has approved the remaining portion of the state's largest land conservation effort in state history.
As you know, I've come before this board with a number of real estate asks over the last many years. Never have I had an act.
The board signed off on the $15.5 million conservation easement for more than 56,000 acres in northern Wisconsin on Wednesday. The property located east of Rhinelander is known as the Pelican River Forest. The Conservation Fund bought 70,000 acres of private forest land last year to preserve it for recreational use and logging. James Lemke is a real estate section chief for the DNR, and he stressed the importance of keeping forests like these available for the public.
As you know, I've come before this board with a number of real estate asks over the last many years. Never have I had an acquisition with as much public support as this acquisition has generated.
The Conservation Fund will oversee the property with certification from the Forest Stewardship Council to ensure management meets environmental standards. The House Select Committee
properties remain in perpetual public access. Since 2006, over 23,000 acres of lands have been lost to open public access. And so this is the department's way of securing in perpetuity this large black block of properties for public use.
The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riots is turning its focus. And a Scottish curling group is visiting Wausau. We'll have the details after weather right here on Newswatch 12.
It's summertime at the Rhinelander Brewery, featuring live music and open to enjoy 7 days a week. Come in and enjoy snacks and our rotating local beer selection. Grab your favorite food at CT's Deli and bring it in to enjoy. Fill up your growler or howler from the beers exclusive to our tap room. We have a large selection of apparel, so shop with your four-legged friends because we are dog-friendly. Rhinelander Brewery is looking to enjoy your summer with you.
Radical Tim Michaels is extremely divisive.
I don't care who I offend.
And at his company, the culture comes from the top. Multiple court filings say women were sexually assaulted, harassed, and pressured to have sex with their bosses.
If she refused demands for sex, she would be blackballed from working on a pipeline job.
Higher-ups dismissed the women as liars and fired those who spoke out.
I don't care who I offend.
That's how Tim Michaels runs his company. Don't let him run our state.
Newswatch 12's Dan Hagan, Jessica Jukic, and meteorologist Jeff Weller bring you the news from where you live and weather of the North Woods. Watch Dan, Jessica, and Jeff weeknights on WJFW NBC 12.
Who's on it with Jardiance?
We're managing type 2 diabetes and heart risk.
We're hitting the trails between meetings.
And putting the brakes on fried foods.
Jardiance is a once-daily pill that not only lowers A1C, it goes beyond to reduce the risk of cardiovascular death for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease. And Jardiance may help you lose some weight.
Jardiance may cause serious side effects, including ketoacidosis that may be fatal, dehydration that can lead to sudden worsening of kidney function, and genital yeast or urinary tract infections. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
A once-daily pill that goes beyond lowering A1C?
We're on it.
We're on it.
We're on it with Jardiance.
Ask your doctor about Jardiance.
Well, we started off here this morning with low temperatures basically down near 20. That's kind of chilly, right? But we recovered nicely throughout the afternoon. Highs back up in the 50s today. Above average today and tomorrow and for Saturday and for Sunday. Another very nice weekend is on the way with temperatures in the 50s to 60s. Not 70s this time, but who cares? It's going to be a fantastic weekend out there. Right now we're at 45 or so in Rhinelander, also for Vida. That seems to be the numerous number across the area right now. We'll have lows tonight, not as cold as last night because we have lots of cloud cover out there currently, but we are building a bit of warmer temperatures across the plains. That's going to be our weather for tomorrow. There's no big heat wave on the way or cold front on the way, so we are going to hang out in the 50s and 60s into the weekend. All right, so here we are. So the really cold stuff is going to stay way up here by Hudson Bay and stay there for a while. That's where the jet stream is right now. Meanwhile, warmer temperatures are kind of pool across the Great Lakes. That will give us into the 60s next week. All right, so going forward on paper, it looks like this. So 56 tomorrow. A couple of you could easily do 60 tomorrow, then 60 on Saturday. Look at the weekend, right? 58 for Sunday, 60 on Monday. That's Halloween, by the way. And then here we are in the 60s through much of next week. Some guidance now suggesting that we could get into the upper 60s on Thursday and Friday. We'll see. That's still about a week away, as you know. Okay, so out there today, lots of cloud cover through the afternoon. That is ahead of a front across the plains right now. That's going to leave us alone, though. There is some rainfall across parts of Minnesota. That will stay there for us. We're dry. In fact, we've been dry for a while. We're going to stay dry for a while longer as there's just no rain in the forecast anytime soon. There is some rain on the radar. And again, this is Virga. It's precipitation about 8,000 feet up in the dendrite growth zone. And that's going to stay there, though, and not make it down here because this air is so dry. So we're in a good shape tonight. No rain or snow for us tonight or tomorrow, even though the radar on your phone in here looks like we do have rain in the area. It will not rain tonight, nor will it rain all weekend. In fact, our next chance for rain probably not until Thursday of next week, and it's been dry. Here's the drought monitor where it's been dry across the west for decades. It's now dry across here and the south as well. We could use some rain and snow. Some long-range trends are hinting at late next week. A couple wet systems getting in here. Until then, though, we could use some rainfall around here. Our forecast then tonight, though, is mostly cloudy skies, not as cold. Low temperatures down near 35 with that south breeze around 5. For tomorrow, here we go. It's Friday. Partly cloudy skies, highs near 56. But again, a couple of you could easily do 60 tomorrow afternoon. And then looking ahead, your 7-day forecast by Northwood Furniture and Mattress keeps us dry through the weekend. There's Halloween on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, low to mid 60s. There's a chance for rain late Wednesday into Thursday of next week. Jessica?
Thank you, Jeff. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot is turning its focus to the Secret Service. Committee members have reviewed more than 1 million pages of Secret Service documents and plan to interview half a dozen witnesses. The committee still wants more information about what the Secret Service knew about threats to Vice President Mike Pence and lawmakers ahead of that attack. 1991 was the last and only time that the Scottish women's international touring team visited Wausau. Today marked their return to the Wausau Curling Center. The Wausau Curling Club members took to the ice to square off with the team. The International Scottish Club is touring the country, playing 14 clubs in the U.S. over a month-long period.
It's just been fabulous. You know, we've seen so many places that we would probably never come to if you were going on a holiday, but curling has been the main draw for everybody, just to be here and curl.
Wausau was the first stop of 3 in Wisconsin. It's playoff season for high school sports. We'll have the highlights from Medford and Mercer. Coming up on Newswatch 12, we'll take a look at the pivotal soccer and volleyball matchups from across northern Wisconsin.
Guess who's making a splash? Pure Denord, of course. We make installing your dock easy enough for just one person, and you don't even have to get wet. With our Piers, there's less maintenance, no rust, and no fuss, because we're factory direct. Made in St. Germain, come and visit us.
They found my sister's head in a wood-burning stove. Her body in a cornfield, murdered by her own husband. The judge called it the most heinous crime he'd ever seen, and the killer was sent to jail for life. But Tony Evers' parole commission set him free, and they didn't even tell us. Under Evers, hundreds of other violent criminals have been released early. It makes no sense. Governor Evers, everyone in Wisconsin is less safe because of you.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape or Edge and get 0% financing for 66 months.
Saturday, October 29th, the Wisconsin Department of Justice will be holding a free prescription drug take-back event. If you have unused or unwanted medications, ointments, patches, non-aerosol sprays, inhalers, vials, or pet medication, clean out your medicine cabinets. Don't let your old medication fall into the wrong hands by disposing of unused or unwanted medications properly. For more information on locations and accepted items, go to doseofrealitywi.gov. This information is brought to you by the Human Service Center of Vilas, Forest, and Oneida County.
Guess who's making a splash? Pure Denord, of course. We make installing your dock easy enough for just one person, and you don't even have to get wet. With our Piers, there's less maintenance, no rust, and no fuss, because we're factory direct. Made in St. Germain, come and visit us.
Coming up, we have some furry friends with Homeward Bound.
And it's always nice to meet those furry friends, but the weather's going to be nice as well. 50s and 60s on the way. We'll have more when you tune in for your Friday edition of the show.
Two years ago, Rhinelander lost to Medford in sectionals. Last year, Rhinelander lost to Medford in sectionals. This year, the Hodags met the Raiders again in, you guessed it, sectionals. And after an epic win for the Hodags against Lakeland Union on Saturday, they had all the momentum going into their match today. The Hodags were out for redemption in Medford. Let's see if they got it. Here in the first half, Medford strikes first, and they strike early. A pair of goals from the Raiders, just like this one, makes it 2-0 just 11 minutes into the game, but the Hodags came back. Jake Dasso is able to sneak this one around the keeper and put it in the back of the net to cut the lead to 1. The momentum stayed with the Hodags. Matthew King gets the ball here, makes a move, and King shoots from way downtown. Crown him. King with the goal of the year to tie it up at 2. That goal saved the Hodags season as they went on to win it in PKs 4-2 and advance to the sectionals final against Rice Lake. It's playoff time. Number 2 Akanto Falls traveled to face off with number 1 Tomahawk. Here in the first set, the Panthers started strong with Grace Molitor getting the best of Tomahawk's Emerson Lang. But Tomahawk responds with Schultz setting up Schultz for a Hatchet's kill. And with all the momentum, Mackenzie Schultz with another assist, but this time to Alyssa Zehner. Tomahawk turned to serve. The Panthers tried to go for a kill and a fail with a stretch and block from Tomahawk's defenders. This is game point right here for the first set. Panthers make it easy, serving it up to Tomahawk. Will go on to win it 3-1. Now let's head up to Mercer, where the Tigers and rival Prentice square off here in the first set. Mercer starts hot. A couple spikes here, and finally, Mercer would win the battle at the net right there. Point Tigers. Prentice, though, wouldn't go down without a fight. A big-time slam right here from Haken. And how about the other side? Ariel Foster paints the line, but watch out, here come the Tigers. A huge block by Schoenemann sets up Nip for the spike. Boom! And now, game point. Schoenemann is going to absolutely dunk this one. Too hot to handle. Tigers would go on to win this one in 5 sets. They play McDonald Catholic on Saturday for a state tournament bid. Now on to some volleyball area scores. The number 4 seed Lena loses to the number 1 seed Leona Wabino 3-0. Leona Wabino will play Athens at Akanto Falls on Saturday. Now let's move on to another area score, but this time for soccer. Now I know you're looking at a 0-0 score there, but Northland Pines ended up winning this one in penalty kicks 3-2, and the regulation was 0-0. That's why it says so. But Northland Pines will play Aquinas this Saturday. And we already talked about the end of the year awards for high school football on the offensive side. Now it's time to talk about the defensive side. Tim Crumry Award, given to the state's top defensive lineman, has Wisconsin Rapids' Connor Ackey. He was first team all-conference for the Valley Football Association, was also named Defensive Player of the Year. Congrats on a great season. And some changes happening with the Brewers. David Stearns is stepping away from his role as Milwaukee Brewers President of Baseball Operations. Matt Arnold has been the Brewers Senior Vice President and General Manager since 2020, has taken the lead role in overseeing baseball operations. Stearns joined the Brewers back in October 2015 as General Manager and was named President of Baseball Operations in the 2019 season. Stearns spoke with the media today on Matt Arnold being named the new President of Baseball Operations.
Matt is a premier executive. He has declined outside opportunities, multiple outside opportunities, to remain committed to the Brewers. It's committed to Milwaukee. He has earned this opportunity, and I'm very confident the organization is in great hands.
We'll be right back after the break.
Looking to feed a group? Rhinelander Pub is the fresh, easy choice for nearly any occasion or event, offering full-service custom catering for parties and events of all sizes, providing personalized planning assistance and exceptional service. Partner with us to create an unforgettable event.
In the Senate, Ron Johnson pushed tax loopholes benefiting himself and his donors.
Did my business benefit? Sure. Did some of my donor businesses? Sure.
But here's what Johnson's doing to us. He voted to raise the retirement age and allow cuts to Social Security. Even supports letting Wisconsin ban nearly all abortions and said, if you don't like it, you can move. Ron Johnson works for himself, never us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Are you suffering from painful bunions or hammer toes? The Family Foot and Ankle Clinic staff can treat your issues conservatively or with state-of-the-art surgical techniques. We are highly trained in the latest treatments and procedures to get you back on your feet as quickly as possible. Most surgical intervention is done on an outpatient basis. So don't wait. See how Family Foot and Ankle Clinic can help make your life enjoyable again. Call our office today to schedule your visit at any of our convenient locations.
Newswatch 12's Dan Hagan, Jessica Jukic, and meteorologist Jeff Weller bring you the news and weather of the North Woods. Alongside the Newswatch 12 team, they are committed to the community and ensuring the local stories make headlines. The Newswatch 12 team works hard to deliver the most important news from where you live, as well as local weather reports. Watch Dan, Jessica, and Jeff weeknights on WJFW NBC 12.
As an Army commander, I serve God, family, and country. But the media, they say none of that matters anymore. When I was 9 years old, my dad handed me a shovel and put me to work. Nowadays, people get paid to sit on the couch. I'm Tim Michaels. I'm not some career politician. I'm a self-made businessman who doesn't give a rip about the special interests or their money. I'm running for governor to turn Madison upside down and take back the freedoms that make Wisconsin great.
Tim Michaels for governor.
The Rhinelander Pub is now open Monday to Saturday. Come enjoy our newly expanded lunch and dinner menu featuring longtime pub favorites and new entree additions. You will love our all-you-can-eat soup and salad bar and Friday seafood buffet.
Connecting the Dots, reliving Northwood's history with Carrie Bladorn is brought to you by Fourth Floral, Mel's Trading Post, Rhinelander Brewing Company, and Ripco Credit Union.
Odds are you've seen a fire tower while driving around northern Wisconsin. Maybe you've wondered about their history. What does it look like from up there? Are they still in use? Wisconsin once had a vast fire tower lookout network, mostly in the forested and most fire-prone regions of the state. At the height of their use, 119 towers dotted the landscape. These steel structures were manufactured by the Aeromotor Company in Chicago, Illinois, which specialized in windmills used on farms. Many of the towers we see standing today were built during the 1930s by the young men of the Civilian Conservation Corps. They didn't use cranes or safety harnesses, just one piece at a time, bolted together by hand. They also staffed them in the early years, along with their forest firefighting duties. Here we are at Hodag Tower, just outside Rhinelander, one of the towers that was once part of the first line of defense in forest fire prevention. I have my friend Jake with me today. We both staffed fire towers years ago, so it will be fun to go up to the top again. Let's climb up and have a look. Some towers were built with stairs, but most had a ladder like this one. It's a long climb to the underside of the cab above. Finally, up a small ladder and through a hatch, and we've reached the top. Once inside, the fire tower lookout monitored the forest between their tower and the horizon. The views from a lookout tower are unparalleled, as they are often built on the highest ground in the area. Depending on weather conditions, you can see up to 10 miles or more. If a smoke was sighted, the lookout used a compass table situated at the center of the cab and binoculars to pinpoint its location. Its azimuth and distance was called into a dispatch center. Other towers in the network would identify and report the same smoke, allowing the dispatch center to triangulate the location of a potential fire using a big map on the wall. With such large expanses of forest to monitor, forestry personnel could be quickly sent to inspect and fight the fire if necessary. Manned from May to September for many decades, their staffing was reduced to the peak forest fire season, between snowmelt and green-up in the spring. Wisconsin's fire lookout towers served their purpose for over 75 years. In 2015, the 72 aging towers still in use were decommissioned. Today, the Wisconsin DNR monitors its forest for fires from above by airplane, relegating its towers to the history books. Some have been dismantled, but many remain as a monument to their service. A few are open to the public, including one near Mountain, Wisconsin. It's open daily until October 31st, so go check it out. The views are worth the climb. I'm Carrie Bladorn, and this is Connecting the Dots, reliving Northwood's history on Newswatch 12.
Connecting the Dots, reliving Northwood's history with Carrie Bladorn is brought to you by Fourth Floral, Mel's Trading Post, Rhinelander Brewing Company, and Ripco Credit Union.
Thank you for watching Connecting the Dots on WJFW. If you have any Northwoods history you'd like to see covered on this program, feel free to send me a message on my Facebook page, Carrie Bladorn, Northwoods Historian, or email me at northwoodshistorian@gmail.com.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Furniture and Appliance Mart.
More than 300 murders just last year. Terror at the Waukesha Christmas Parade. But Defund the Police radical Mandela Barnes still supports eliminating cash bail, releasing dangerous criminals back into our communities. Barnes says,
reducing prison population is now sexy.
Actually, releasing criminals isn't sexy. It's dangerous. Radical Mandela Barnes won't keep your family safe. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Breaking news in Dallas, Texas, where at least 5 police officers were killed when they were ambushed.
This was the deadliest day for U.S. law enforcement since 9/11.
Just days after this horrific crime, Mandela Barnes appeared on Vladimir Putin's propaganda news outlet and rationalized violence against American police officers.
Police officers are over-exercising their badges. This probably was a retaliatory attack.
Do you want Mandela Barnes representing you in the Senate?
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Coming from the Midwest, we know that winter can chill to the bones. Menards has all the heating options to combat those cold months. Need heat wherever you are? Check out our endless options of space heaters. Want something for a cozy living space? Pick up one of our many fireplaces. Job sites? Home? We have your back. Menards has heating options for whatever situation you need it for, and get 11% off it all.
Save big money at Menards.
It's a cool night outside, but Jeff, I'm looking forward to that weekend. You've been promising it's going to be beautiful.
We got to ask Saul first. Saul, is this cool? It's 45 degrees outside.
My hands were cold, but I was able to stay outside in Medford for the whole first half. No complaints here.
So Saul's like the official, is it